What is up, everyone? Hope everyone is well and hope everyone had a great week 2 of the fantasy season. So with week 3 coming up, I wanted to do one of my weekly videos on waiver wire ads for week 3. So we'll jump right into it, and the first screen is just my long-term ad screen. So this is going to be basically a running sheet of all the people that I think are potential to hold long-term. Now long-term doesn't mean all season, it just means for an extended period of time. It's someone that you potentially can hold for a couple of weeks if you have a free slot, or if you don't want to stream that week for whatever reason. This guy could hold some value for at least a medium piece of time. So Cam Thomas, I think we all know about him. We don't need to talk about him. I will say though quickly that his defensive stats have been a little bit better, slightly. So maybe 3 rebounds, 1 steal. It's been awesome to have instead of just the points. So yeah, Jalen Johnson's been awesome. He's started most games as well, which is a really great sign. Malcolm Brogdon, we had to have had him once Simons went down and once Scoot went down. He just exploded. He's gone back to his Indiana stats basically. Shaden Sharp, I think he's not even an ad. He probably was drafted, but I think you got to have him. Just bear in mind that both the Portland players, they're going to have 2 games this week, so not a great thing to have, but unfortunately I think you have to hold them through that. Also Thompson, he was drafted, but we all know about him from the last video and from pretty much every other YouTuber going around. Kelly Oubre has been very nice in Philadelphia. I think his shooting field goal percentage is crazy at 55%. It'll definitely drop, so his points will drop, but I think he's locked into that high sort of minutes role. He's starting at the moment after the Harden trade, but Nick Nurse said that he's looking to bring him off the bench eventually. So I think maybe Robert Covington or something will start, but he will get the bulk of the minutes. Oubre, Strus, a bit awesome, similar role to Miami, just bombing threes. Tim Hardaway, same thing as always. DeAndre Hunter, yeah, another pleasant surprise. 3-pointers, points, and steals is what he's been giving you. He really doesn't give you steals, so I think it's uncharacteristic unless he's suddenly improved his game, but we'll see. So I think that's going to drop, and I think his 3-pointers definitely going to drop as well. He's shooting some crazy percentage from 3 if you look up the stats. Karis LeVert just always gets 30 minutes off the bench. Now in 3 games with Darius Garland and even with Jarrett Allen there today, he's still got 32 minutes, so that's a really good sign. I still think he's someone that can give you a little bit of everything, so maybe like sort of 12 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1.5 threes off the bench. Like it's pretty decent stats, gives you a little bit of everything, so you can hold him throughout. Just bear in mind that it has a 2-game week this week, so something to think about as well. Naz Reid, he looks like he's locked into about 24 minutes a game, so 3-pointers, points, and maybe about 5 rebounds is what he'll give you. His threes are overinflated at the moment because he's shooting a high percentage. I think that'll drop back down to about 1.5. Now Grant Williams, this is not many people have been talking about him from what I've seen, but Grant Williams, yeah, he's averaging about 7 threes this game, and a game this season, and he's getting 30 minutes plus a game. So with the other guys like Luka and Kyrie handling all the time, I think he's just going to be standing in corners, bombing threes all games, and I think he could, honestly, his shooting percentage is pretty similar to last season. I think it's like 37% or something. So he looks like he's on track. At the moment he's averaging 3.8 threes, but I think he could finish the season averaging 2.9, anywhere from 2.8 to 3.2 maybe, if he keeps his current usage and minutes and everything. So yeah, definitely if you're targeting threes, I think he's worth a long-term, a medium-term hold at least. And Malik Monk, we all know about 6-man potential of the year, 3 points in the season with Fox out, and you have to keep him regardless of his up and down games just because of his potential. But I think even with Fox back, he's still worth it, even with all the other guys and Keegan Murray being a little bit inconsistent from time to time. So there are my sort of, I shouldn't say long-term ads, I might change that to medium-term ads going forward, but just guys that you might want to consider holding a bit longer than just for a week for your build. So let's get into it. The money part of this video, which is the week 3 ads who you want. So I went with all the major light game players. So this is going to involve all the Magic guys. So as you can see in the top right corner, I've got a list of all the guys playing 2, 3, and 4 games, and then I've got all the teams as well and the light days. So that is going to be the Thursday and Saturday, and Atlanta, Milwaukee, and Orlando are all great picks for week 3 waiver ads, because they're going to give you games on lighter days, whereas everyone else, even if they pick up players, they may not be able to roster them because they already have a full slate of players. So yeah, those 3 are good. Mo Wagner and Bitadze look like they're in a timeshare potentially after that one game with the Lakers where Bitadze got the start, even though everyone thought Wagner was going to get it. It's interesting. So it seems like it's going to be a matchup basis, and yeah, we'll just see what happens. Who knows how that'll go. Maybe Wagner will get all the minutes going forward. I don't know. But Wendell Carter Jr. is out for a couple weeks probably, so yeah, definitely monitor that situation, but have one at least or both if not. Yeah, so Cole Anthony, points and 3-pointers is what he gives you, a little bit of rebounds and assists, but yeah, he's looking good, and with Fultz potentially missing another game or 2, yeah, he's definitely locked into a slot. Killian Hayes is playing 4 games this week, so again, great for assists and steals. He seems to be getting close to 30 minutes a game, gives you 1-3, very low, not very low, but lowish turnovers, and yeah, it doesn't really hurt you in the free throws because his volume is so low. Now with McCollum, Hawkins and Daniels seem to be the guys. Hawkins for points and threes, and I think Daniels for maybe a little bit of like rebounds, assists, and steals. But they could both be good. It's hard to say who's going to get the most minutes. Hard to say who's going to get the best performance. But I think both of them are good to monitor. And same thing with Jamal Murray potentially being out. Reggie Jackson looks to probably take his role and take the minutes, and it's going to give you the threes, points, and assists. But I think Christian Bourne again is a wildcard. He'll get more minutes, and because if he's a wildcard, he can give you a bit of everything. He might have like a 12-5-5 game with like 2 threes and a steal or something. It's really hard to know. But Denver has 3 games this week, while the Pelicans have looks like they have 3 games as well this week. No, they got 4 games, sorry. So looks like that's probably worth the trade-off a little bit more. And Pelly's a thin man, like, you know, Ingram could easily miss more games. So I think Hawkins is a really good ad this week. Dylan Brooks is awesome as well. At the moment, we'll see what happens. By the way, his field goal percentage is crazy. It's like 50%. It will definitely drop. He's a career 30, 38, 39 guy. So I think hold or potentially pick him up if he's still there until he gets cold. You know, he's going to give you that 15 points, 3 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal, and maybe 2 threes a game. So a little bit of everything as well until he cools off. Bismack Biyombo, interesting to see his stats today. So Tillman missed the game. Tillman hasn't been great since maybe game 1 or 2. And Biyombo played today, and we'll see what happens. It was a very late scratch. It was, I think, like 15 minutes before the game. So it might even be that Tillman had, you know, a fairly significant issue that they found just, you know, randomly. And maybe Biyombo's in for extra minutes. I don't know. We'll have to see that. But definitely something to monitor, because when Biyombo gets minutes, he's going to be similar to like Steven Adams last year, sort of like 10 points, 10 boards, and 2 blocks potential. So definitely look out for Biyombo. Kennard, he's finally out of his shooting slump, had a decent game today, but he's going to be decent for 3 points, and assists, because, man, Memphis is thin at the moment. They need as much scoring as possible, but they have 3 games this week. Mark Branham, with Vassell potentially being out for another couple of games, is going to give you a bit of points, rebounds, and assists, but nothing special. But, you know, they've got 4 games this week, sorry, so, you know, potentially all right. Royce O'Neal gives you 2 threes a game and maybe 5 rebounds, 4 or 3 assists if Ben Simmons is out, so I think he's okay as well. With they have a 4-game week again, but just bear in mind his field goal percentage is horrible. It's like 29% at the moment, so he's going to kill you there. Even though his volume is only 7 attempts a game, it's still 4 games. That's 28 shots, man. So yeah, that's not really good. It's going to make like, yeah, basically like 8 or 9 out of 28 shots. Kobe White, I still think he's worth monitoring. He's getting 30 minutes a game. At some point, I think he's going to break out of that shooting slump. He's just shooting horribly at the moment, but when he finally goes back to his sort of career averages of the 43% or whatever he is, he'll give you some threes, points, rebounds, and assists as well. So I don't have points there, but yeah, definitely something worth monitoring. And Marcus Sasser as well. He was a bit of a speculative ad. He had 2 good games now. Jaden Ivey did not play today, which is why he had a really great game, but he's been getting about 25 minutes a game for the last 2 or 3 games. So definitely someone to look at. He gives you 3 points, 3-pointers, points, assists, and some steals, and a steal as well. And he's very low turnover, it seems, but again, very small sample size, so it's hard to say. But definitely someone interested in monitoring. Alright guys, so we move on to the last part of the video, which is all just things to monitor during the week. So for me, this is all the injury news and the trade news as well. So I'll be monitoring the Philly rotation to see who takes that power forward spot and who gets the minutes off the bench. I think it's going to be Rocco who's going to take that spot when Oubre moves to the bench, but I think he's only going to average maybe sort of like 25 minutes a game, but he's still good for, you know, a steal and a half and a block with stats, and maybe even a 3 as well. So Clippers situation similar. I think Plumlee may get some extra minutes in the front court. So he's maybe, you know, we'll see what happens, but, you know, if he does get sort of low 20s, it could be good for 6 points, 3 assists, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and maybe a steal or a block as well. So definitely something to monitor as well, with the lack of depth that they have, especially at the wing position. The Orlando situation, I think, is another thing to monitor. Who's going to get the bulk of the minutes? We talked about Mo Wagner and Goga. It'll probably be a timeshare in my opinion, but I think overall Wagner is best to have in terms of his fantasy value and his appeal. But I think if you want blocks, Goga is probably the guy to go to, and it'll be a matchup situation of who gets more minutes each game. Pal situation similar with McCollum. Daniels and Hawkins are your main guys. I like Hawkins the most out of all of them, just because of his scoring potential. Matt Ryan also can be bombing 3, so it might be interesting to have, especially if Ingram or Zion miss games as well during that stretch. And just 2 guys that are sort of, you know, medium-term to long-term ads, Kobe White and Josh Hart. Interesting to see what happens as they still getting a bit of minutes. Kobe White, I think his field goal percentage will improve, and I think overall he'll be back to being rostered on teams. Josh Hart is another guy that's got a little bit more run with RJ Barrett out, so if that continues, definitely have him if you need rebounds and a little bit of assists. But it's interesting to see what happens just because Josh Hart has been shooting so poorly. I think his value has been underrated as well. But he's just so buried in that rotation, and it's hard to really say, but I just think monitor it because he's been dumped in a few leagues from what I can see, and I think he's definitely worth it if you have the right build as well. It's something to think about. So that wraps up today's video. I hope you did enjoy it and get something out of it. Definitely, if you have some suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. And if you like the video, definitely give it a like as well. Otherwise, I'll be back with my usual weekly videos. I've got one more video to do this week, which is my buy low, sell high video. So definitely look out for that. But until the next one, I will see you then. And I hope you have a great week 3 as well. So take it easy, guys. Catch you then. Bye.